It's begun, sir. Operation Hopium is underway. Perfect. Follow me and prepare the crew for jettison for when we reach the center of the multiverse. We have all crew members equipped with high-grade hopium and...
Okay, this is disturbing already. This is like disturbing right off the bat. This motherfucker's... I mean, like, this is, I like, you know, like certain areas, like my eyes are just trying to avert, but it's goddamn impossible. I think he's a genius by putting memes on his fucking boxers.
Inhalers, spare hopium tanks, and wielding the latest models of hopium injectors. Good. I want yourself and the rest of the research team to monitor the clones as they recruit for our cause. It's vital that we free these players from their prison, that is their dogshit MMORPGs. But what about you, sir? Huh? Me? I'll be handling the copiest of copium addicts. Don't bother waiting for me. Hey, what up, boys? So after yesterday's god-tier clickbait, I'm back to scraping the bottom of the barrel, struggling to fabricate topics for an MMO that doesn't even exist. However, before we start rummaging through the pile of, I wanted to talk about the hype surrounding Ashes of Creation and why it's important to temper expectations.
Can we just get a round of applause for the pizza fort? Seriously though, how is this dude this skinny? Like, how the fuck is this guy's metabolism like jacked up? It's a lot of cocaine. It has to be a lot of cocaine. Look at all those pizza boxes, for Christ's sake. This guy should be like at least 350. 350.
And all remain vigilant throughout this game's development process, which is ironic considering my whole existence revolves around peddling that Ashes of Creation copium.
But I am not blind.
Cautiously optimistic is probably the best way to describe my feelings, and I'm sure this is the same for most of you. Let's discuss this topic today and highlight why it's important to remain critical. But before we get into that, grab yourself a Coca-Cola, because in today's video we'll be contrasting Ashes of Creation with similar projects, highlighting the damage overhype does, and discussing why people are so desperate for this MMORPG to succeed. Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
That's horrible.
So I want to start today's video by contrasting Ashes of Creation.
Jesus, the chat, you guys are like depressing the shit out of me right now. Captain's like, I had a friend that lived off pizza, soda, and beer and died of colon cancer. Jesus, hold on. Pepe, is Pepe Explodo completely. I think ever since we haven't talked about Explodo's board going up in flames, have we? Are we still? You're still upset, aren't you? Explodo. I'm so sorry, bro. I said we were gonna have some mano-y-mano time, and we would talk about that this morning, and we didn't even get to that. Explodo, he's dealing with so much right now. All right, he's dealing with so much right now. Let's send Explodo some love. He's having some like hard times. This is what we do on the stream. Listen. If you're watching this highlight on YouTube, this is a normal thing, man. We support those that watch the show. You know, I will hold up everything to make sure that my fans are feeling good in the right spot. And really, we're going to get them there. We're going to get Explodo there today.
You're not going to hate me.
We're going to make sure you're feeling okay, Explodo. We're going to shirk that right off you, man. We're going to take that pain away from you. You just put it on me. You put all your pain on me. You put all your pain on me.
With the project it is probably most compared to, Star Citizen. The memes are infinite. Ashes of Cremation.
I can't wait for my grandkids to play this.
This is just Star Citizen, but with swords.
And that's fair. Ashes doesn't exactly have the cleanest track record and has made some pretty reputation-damaging mistakes over the years of development. I personally write those off as a budding indie developer with a huge amount of pressure on their back, taking risks and trying new things to see what sticks. But sorry, that's the thinking of a reasonable human being. We only want crippling depression and brutal skepticism around these parts. Despite the fact that my channel revolves around this game, I actively encourage skepticism and highlight important flaws and problems with the game that probably does more harm than good. I do this because I want the game to succeed, and by ignoring problems or brushing bad press under the rug, it's setting the game up for failure down the line. You can say whatever you want about Ashes of Creation, but it's already significantly more legitimate than Star Citizen. Star Citizen started development in 2012, selling game packs for up to $15,000 with a launch ETA of 2016. Since then, scope creep has completely engulfed the project, and they continue to promise more and more, exploiting their
Yeah, I mean, like, for little kids that don't have any patience, right? I mean, like, this is the thing. Yeah, it's taken a long fucking time. It's taken a long fucking time. There's no excuse. There's no fucking excuse for how long this has taken, except for the fact that this is trying to be a game that gives you everything. That's really what people don't understand. I think when it comes to Star Citizen, people don't get the fact that people want an everything game. People want to marry themselves to an everything game. I can't remember what it was that I was watching, but it was such great commentary. I wish I could credit the guy who was talking like this. And he kind of summed it up perfectly. And he said, you know, people really don't want to roam around from game. They want to have their one title that they can always go back to, and that it's their forever game. People get married to their games. This is a normal thing for gamers, okay? And Star Citizen, the reason why has the amount of revenues it has, right? It's because it's promising to be your forever game. Like, quite literally, that's the reason why it's so successful. And the reason why we've gotten to this point with over 500 million in revenues is because people want an everything game. People want an everything game. There is not an everything game out. There is not an everything game out. The reason why there's so much creep is because people want it. Like, I don't know how else to express that. Like, we saw it with the stretch goals. We saw how, like, every new stretch goal got fucking hit. We saw it early days of the development. Do you want this? Yes. Oh, do you want this? Yes. Do you want this? Yes. Do you want this? Yes. Do you want this, this, and this? Yes, yes, yes. Do you want this? Yes, right? And rationally speaking, responsibly speaking, at some point you do have to kind of draw a line, okay? I get that. I get that argument. But simply trying to make it relatable to the general public is a very hard thing to do, because they are not understanding that this is trying to be your forever game. Star Citizen is trying to be your forever game. That's why there's forever creep. I don't necessarily like get upset about all the creep, because, you know, even though the project's taken as long as it is, it's like, I do want a game that's going to offer me everything, because it doesn't exist. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, all of us want that. All of us want to just have that comfort of going, oh, yes, I can go back to this title. I love this game. And just continually dump hours and hours and hours of your own personal time into it. You know, and that is one of the reasons why it has taken this to this point, because the fan base and the supporters and the people that are backing Star Citizen are always saying yes. And I don't necessarily think that's that bad of a thing, because people want that forever game experience, but there does have to be like some reality checks, you know, like, and it does have to be ordered, and sometimes Chris will put things ahead of others, and you like bang your head up against the wall. Like, really? That's what we need right now, Chris? Like, that's what we need? You know, like, that I understand. That frustration, oh, I understand it. That's why I stopped doing roadmap content. I cannot, like, roadmap content, it fucking, I go ballistic, because I'm like, why? Like, I just go, why did you do this? Why did you do that? What the fuck are you doing? You know, like, and I get irate. I can't get a rate, so I had to back off. No. Red Bear is like, we want it now. If that's what you do, GG, we want it now. Listen, I can't. My blood pressure goes up. I get fucking angry. You know, the thing is like I have to just realize this is the process. This is how it's going to be. This is how it's been. And just subjugate myself to that. And if I get angry, I will tell you. And I will voice up and I will say, why? Right? But the thing is, I think that's what people don't understand about Star Citizen. And I just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Whales with up to $35,000 packages 9 years later. Here in 2022, Cloud Imperium Games cannot even fit 50 players onto a server without it shitting a brick with network-based glitches and clipping issues, with absolutely zero evidence that these issues will ever be fixed. Additionally, their public image is also extremely poorly.
I don't necessarily. I think they've explained what they're trying to do in regards to server meshing. I think we went over last week about, you know, what they're doing in terms of testing servers by increasing the player cap. That highlight will be out this week. I think it was 10#42 did a nice piece on Cloud Imperium and the AWS package they have, their Amazon Web Services package they have, and how they're upgrading it. We said they needed to upgrade it even more and spend more in that regards. I think as we'll see the new system come online and we'll see Pyro come in, I think you'll see like that AWS consideration increase if in fact it just ends up being a big turd. Then they'll consider maybe bumping it up even more. I don't know. That's speculation. But like I was really surprised when we watched that 10#42 video about why 100 Star Citizen players, and looking at the current package that they had, and I was shocked. I was shocked at the AWS package they had. I was like, really? So I don't know the prices of AWS, Amazon Web Services, in terms of like their package pricing, but like I would imagine that there's seeing that Amazon's revenue is I think it's over 50% of their revenue comes from AWS. I would say it's a huge industry.
Received, blaming players for the issues of the game and making decisions that protect itself from criticism by hiding their roadmap from public eyes. The latest in their genius plans for monetary domination. Can't critic a game.
Honestly, I think they just got fucking tired of it. Like I think they just, you know, maybe they just fucking said fuck this shit. Like, you know, like I honestly think that like one of the reasons that happened was they were just like, you know.
For lack of progress if you can't see the progress. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, no,
Crypto bro levels of IQ. But then again, the game is all but appealing to crypto bros at this point, so easy money.
It's appealing to crypto bros. What the fuck is he even talking about?
Yeah, I guess. Finally, there's the fact that the basic fundamental features, like NPC monsters, of which we don't have a single alien after 9 years, with ship armor, professions, and basically 90% of the gameplay still not existing here in 2022. And it's
wow, that just shows a lack of understanding. You know, when you get guys, I don't think he took any time to like research it. I think he just went for that clickbait. Like, really? I'm going to kind of shame him for that. Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
Shame.
It's kind of understandable when you're from the outside looking in and you haven't like taken the time to actually like research the development. But like, yeah, I mean, there's no aliens, you know? and you know, but the thing is like he's kind of just like throwing all the achievements under the bus right now for the views. Like he should kind of go in detail. He should go into detail on his opinions a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? I think he might be confusing Star Atlas with Star Citizen. Crypto bros, like what the fuck? There's no crypto in Star Citizen. Could you imagine? Like I feel like you should see the when I cover Star Atlas, you should see you know, the amount of people that like just go. You know what I mean? Like they're like, nope, no NFTs, no crypto. It's just not ready yet. Like that, like we talked about this last week. The industry is catering to traders and to people who are crypto and NFT geared, and they're not conditioning themselves to the gamers. They're not being relevant to gamers directly, which is sad. They don't know how to market their products. They don't understand that gamers are going to be the biggest backers of, guess what? A game. and the game needs to come first over the cryptos and the NFTs. That the cryptos and NFTs need to be secondary, and then people can understand the utility of it and say, oh, cool, I can actually make money from this game. And that's how it should happen. The way that the industry is kind of force fed, like how amazing it is, really kind of tripped up. And they're trying to save face now. They're trying to save face. And I hope they realize that using terms like NFT and play to earn, that terminology is toxic to the gamer base. It just is. It just is.
It's this that I want to highlight. Ashes of Creation has shown incredible progress in 2022, revealing revolutionary technology that has never been seen before in an MMORPG, and has shown incredible evidence of network feats that were previously thought impossible with next-generation graphics. Oh, and by the way, that clip you just saw was during their Alpha 1 phase, before they even moved over to Unreal Engine 5, reaping the benefits of that engine's optimization and networking upgrades. So let that one sink in. Star Citizen is a disaster compared to Ashes of Creation, which has been in development for 1/3 of the time, raised 100 times less dollars, and yet has delivered on their promises at roughly the original ETAs. Huh? The original 2018 release date? Say that again. I dare you. I don't think it's fair to compare the two at all. Intrepid are developing at a much faster and more successful pace than any of the other Kickstarter MMOs, and their marketing practices are far less predatory than Star Citizen's literal NFT level ships, Pantheons, 7.
Is he not aware of what's going on? Like NFT ships. What is he talking about, man?
$150 pre-alpha keys, and all of our currently popular MMOs that are rife with various degrees of pay to win. All things considered, I actually think, if anything, Ashes of Creation gets given too much shit and negativity from the MMORPG community. It's like they're so jaded they refuse to let another game convince them of success. Or maybe they're scared Ashes of Creation is gonna ruin.
We need wildlife. Like we're gonna start to have. The cool thing is now we're seeing NPCs planetary side, which are still acting very derpy, but we're seeing the first kind of iteration of game design where they're trying to start to populate the world with NPC. I really want to see wildlife hit. I really want to see like just fucking alien beasts on planets. Like I think in some respect, as goofy as it sounds, as what do I want to say, just for the looks of things, just to put them there. I know it's not super important, but I think in a way, like being able to see like wildlife in Star Citizen, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of important, like to add to the scenery a little bit. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Like all those instances, all those new containers, you know, like all the additional data that would be put onto the server. Like I get it. I get why they're not doing it. But like I do think it's going to be a great day when I can start seeing, you know, some wildlife, you know. Kiss says, people like this guy have no understanding that SC is not a normal game. None of that. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Kiss, you know, like this is trying to be a forever game. So is Ashes. So is Ashes. Ashes is trying to do the same thing, you know. They're trying to make it a forever game too. But he says none of the technology SC uses exists in any other game. He thinks SIG are using existing technology like Ashes of Creation. When you factor that in, exactly the opposite of what he's saying is true. Sorry for the essay, but this guy's talking shit. No, that's cool. That's cool, dude. Like this guy's just, you know, trying to create content to entertain and maybe inform, but I think that it's misguided information, but I don't think he's taken a lot of time. I think he just wanted to do a versus video. You know, I think he wanted to do like an Ashes of Creation versus Star Citizen. At least this is the impression I'm getting right now, that he wanted to take like Ashes up and he wanted to like pit it up against Star Citizen. And, you know, probably his fucking SEO, his search engine optimization words are like, you know, Ashes of Creation versus Star Citizen versus... Coming in like a boss. That's good. That's good, dude. New Fire always catches me off guard with his fucking comments. I love him, dude. It's fucking good. It's great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Dynast, that resubscription, bro. Coming in like a boss, saying more, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the show, bro. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Ruin their currently favourite MMO, but I digress. I think holding Steven and Intrepid accountable is a good thing. At least we can look at Ashes of Creation's development and see that they can actually deliver a decent MMO. The seasonal tech, the character creator, the combat, it's all very promising, quite unlike Star Citizen, Camelot Unchained, Crowfall, and all those other Kickstarter MMOs. But does that really justify it being called the savior of the MMORPG genre? Well, that's an interesting question, so I think we'll discuss this next. Let's not get it twisted. Ashes of Creation doesn't need to be the savior of MMORPGs. It just needs to be a fun, open-world PvP MMO and not compromise its progression with pay-to-win, of which Steven has assured us it won't, because the whole reason he started his crusade in the first place was because Arcade, Steven's favourite MMO, destroyed itself with pay-to-win. Why would he want his own game to be destroyed in the same way? For infamy? For money? Well, considering Steven's down 30 million since Alpha 1, I'm pretty sure he's not looking to grab a quick buck with a rug pull. Ain't nobody going around claiming this upcoming indie MMO is gonna be the MMO that saves the genre. Well, at least not within my niche community, because
I mean, he's trying. The guy's trying. The thing is the intro was really awesome. Obviously, you know, we're Star Citizen people. We're following the project, so we're gonna look at this and we're gonna be like, as a content creator, looking at it, I mean, he's putting in the effort. He's editing nicely. I just think the information is a little bit flawed or a little bit lopsided or biased for a reason. I do think he's doing this for views. It does feel that way, but hey, you know, I disagree with his opinions. I disagree with his opinions on Star Citizen.
When they do, they... But there's absolutely nothing wrong with huffing a little copium, getting excited for a game that seems to be doing all the right things for once. I mean, my whole brand depends on people huffing that copium, and for every like that this video gets, I'll be distributing a free canister for all the lovely boys in the Discord. And that includes all new members joining today as well. This genre has been in a dire state for a long-ass time now, with only disappointments coming and going faster than your average raid tier in WoW. It's not like Ashes of Creation is perfect. A quick reminder in case you forgot, Ashes of Creation doesn't even exist, but what else is there to get hyped for? I can't think of a single other Western MMO that I'm excited about. Riot's MMO is going to be another corporate shitshow with linear theme park gameplay made by one of the most infamous MMORPG devs there ever was. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is, yeah. And all the Asian MMOs are basically just gambling simulators hidden behind giant anime titties. Ashes is an ambitious, fully funded game made by someone who understands MMOs, and his team is growing at an alarming rate. As of August 2022, I think they've just passed 130 employees, and still hiring left, right, and center. I get the feeling we've not even begun to see the true pace Intrepid can churn out content, and 2022 still has 4 more opportunities to blow our mind, and I'm confident they plan to do exactly that. In a perfect world, none of this would be considered special, but unfortunately, in this MMO drought, people are getting desperate. The reason fanatics 10k deep into this project call it the same.
Dude, there's a huge fucking drought in the game industry. There's a huge drought now in the entire gaming industry, man. I've never witnessed such a drought. It's pretty crazy, really. It's systemic. It's really systemic at this point.
savior of MMORPGs is because we have seen solid evidence of absolutely
I can't say I'm like
development.
absolutely
But
in
is
love
what
with the
we've
graphics
seen
that I'm
really
seeing here.
enough to justify the title of savior of
Lou.
MMORPGs? Well, as someone who is neck deep in the copium for this highly ambitious MMORPG,
All right, Kiss.
we've not even seen some of the best
Sorry about your
systems
luck on
come
that
to
meeting,
light
bro.
yet. And I think it's this that makes a lot of the players in the know super excited. So why does Ashes of Creation get so much hype, but at the same time, so much criticism? There's many hypocritical accusations being thrown its way according to the general player base. Things like
Right,
utilizing fear of missing out tactics, or things like us paying
I mean the environments are nice, you know, like the environments are kind of cool. I dig the environments, but like it seems a little low grade. It seems a little low grade to me in terms of like character movements and character animations, and it's like your typical, you know, fucking /MMO RPG kind of fucking vibe to it. Like it you know, it's got like that fucking World of WoW kind of feel, you know. It's got that new world. There, like, you know, it's got that vibe to it. And I'm not quite sure I'm down with it.
according to the general player base. Things like utilizing fear of missing out tactics,
another left-click simulator,
like us
right.
paying them a ludicrous
Right.
amount of money to test their game. But the one that sticks out to me the most is that the game is nothing but empty promises until it finally releases. Except it's not empty promises. Even in its alpha phase, Ashes showed that their networking and optimization is far above
It's a little
games
disconnected,
like
Pink.
New World.
It's a
Not
little
that that's much of a
disconnected.
compliment. And by refusing to acknowledge this, you're just being disingenuous. One of the major problems with Kickstarter projects like Star Citizen, Chronicles of Valeria, Crowfall, and all them other garbage scams is scope creep. Something Ashes has kept in check from day one. Out
We're
of
gonna-
all
we're gonna
the
go over
things
some
they've
No Man's
shown,
Sky
to me,
content
the
today,
most
Tech.
tangible
You'll
part
be
of this
happy about
project
that.
is their lack of scope creep. They set their development goals during Kickstarter.
Wait, what am I, wait, hold on, what?
Disingenuous. One of the major problems with Kickstarter projects like Star Citizen, Chronicles of Valeria, Crowfall, and all them other garbage scams is scope creep. Something Ashes has kept in check from day one. Out of all the things they've shown, to me,
Well, I mean, like, I love that the game developers get criticized for the scope creep, because it's not the game developers, guys. Like, really, it's the people behind. It's us. We want it all. With that, like exactly what I talked about at the very beginning of this video. That the pointing the finger at the developers for creep has really not much to do with the fucking developers. If maybe because the developers asked the question, maybe you got an argument there, right? Maybe it's like, okay, don't ask us what else we want because we know you're gonna fucking say yes, and that's gonna add to the creep. There is an argument to be had there. But generally speaking, if the question's put out there, right, do you want this? Or if the player base is saying we want this so loudly that the developers listen to it, there's your creep, right? There's your fucking feature creep. It comes through the player base, man. Like the criticism should not be really so much on the fucking developer as it should be on the backers, the people who want it. In terms of like funding games, right? Still up in the air whether it's a good thing on Kickstarter by its base, right? Or, you know, like all the fund sites. I think it's great. I think it's going to be a giant revolution and a change to the industry and the way that games are funded and the way that games are developed. But what we're seeing in the evolution of game design and game development is that when they're switching to this model of fundraising through the backers who are going to play the game directly, what ends up happening is you do see a longer span of time being devoted to creating a game. They don't have time constraints. Welcome Koncheka. I don't know why I said it like that, but welcome to the fam, bro. You have longer spans of time of game development when you're funding to the general public, because you don't have to worry about time constraints. You don't have to worry about a publisher coming in and saying, do this now. That could be viewed as a good or a bad thing. Personally, I think it's kind of a good thing, because in the end, you're going to get exactly the game you want if the developers listen and if the developers execute, right? If the developers are listening, if the developers are executing, you know, in terms of the type of backing that we're talking about when you're taking directly from the player base, right? If they connect to you and they listen and they're developing, those are good things. And I think it's a revolution in the way that the gaming industry, I think it's an evolution of the gaming industry, period. And I like it. Like, it would be interesting. It would be great. It would be fantastic that Star Citizen shows this model as super successful. That, you know, when the show is over and we got the game that we want, and they'll keep developing it, by the way. I don't think the show will ever be over. But when the game is out, when the persistent universe acts like it does, and we have like a relatively large amount of systems, and we don't have desync and server meshing's completed, there's a whole bunch of ifs, right? But if we get to that point and it's a success, which I believe they're going to do their damnedest. I honestly believe they're going to do their damnedest. I think they will achieve what they're setting out to do. I really do. But when we hit that point, it will show other developers that it can be done. You have good actors and you have bad actors. You have good developers to the space that'll take on the model, and they do it the same way that Cloud Imperium does, and they'll make a hell of a banger. And then you'll have bad actors come to the space, bad developers, and they don't know how to fucking execute. We've seen it so much this week. We've seen it so much. We've talked about it with Nova Quark and Dual Universe. We've talked about the presentation that we saw from Star Atlas that was just like a second grader could have done. You can see where the execution is missing, and you can see it, and it's good because you can smell that, you can see it, and you can say, nope, you know, I don't think I'm going to pledge. I don't think I'm going to put my money down on that. But I really think if Star Citizen shows us that we can get through this and get a finished product out on the table, that people are going to see that, yes, game development is going to take a long amount of time. The game development is now going to take much longer than we're accustomed to because of how the fundraising works. But two, I think positively, you're going to see like a game come out where it encapsulates a lot of different types of gameplay, a lot of different types of gameplay, and a lot of features. And you never would get that in the old model, in the legacy. I call it legacy game development, legacy old school game development. You know, where you got to go through the right channels, and you got a publisher. There's time constraints. Everything's compressed. Rush. Trust me, game developers know that shit. It's a pain in the ass. Execute does know how to execute, by the way. So I really wish this guy would have modeled his argument in such a fashion where he was a little bit more rational. I like the hype to the video. I like how he started the intro. It kind of grabs you right from the beginning. That's really important to do as a content creator, to like grab people in the first 7 seconds. And then, you know, but like as the video is continuing on, it's losing me. Like this video is starting to lose me.
The most tangible part of this project is their lack of scope creep. They set their development goals during Kickstarter, smashed them all, setting records within a few days, but despite the insane amount of interest, they didn't add any additional features, even though they probably could have comfortably done that. They aren't just winging it and adding new potential content all the time. It's always been about the same core gameplay features. I think the general player base just don't understand that MMO development...
All right. I'm not endorsing this fart, but this fart is definitely for Erad here and others that feel the same way. There you go. There you go. I know that makes you feel really good when you hear that, Erad, and we will do that for you, buddy. We will do that for you. I don't know what it is about this guy. I'm relating to him as a content creator and understanding that this guy did not do enough research or did not present his content in such a manner that I feel like he's knowledgeable in game development, you know? But okay. I like the fact that he's like focusing on like, hey, it's smart to be a critic. It's smart to be critical, like to be a critic, to have criticism. But I would say like, I mean, I can't say I've always practiced what I preach. I mean, I was about to say it's good to be like constructively a constructive critic, you know, like constructive criticism. But like, even though I come off as harsh sometimes in a lot of my rants on various things we watch here, I still like to be as constructive as I can. I have my moments. I go beast mode. I lose my shit. I'll rant. But even I hope that like you guys can like realize that at least I'm coming from my truthful place. I'm coming from my sweet truthful place. It's inside. It's buried deep. It's way down inside of me. But I love it. I caress it every single night. It's my truthful spot. It's quite a turn on if you touch it. All right.
Takes a long ass time. Like, seriously guys, what do you want? Another unfinished corporate shit show that dies within a month just so you can get your monkey brain MMO fix? Or do you want an MMO that's made with passion, time, and care, but most importantly, that it actually...
Listen, I've got to say this. I'm like, Chad is on point. Chad is on point here. Like, I don't even think it's coming from like a Star Citizen fanboy angle here. I know like a lot of people watching this would say, oh, these guys are biased because, you know, they're following Star Citizen stuff. I don't even think that we're talking about that right now. I think we're just talking about the content. Is it digestible? Do we believe that he is a professional in game development? Do we believe what he's saying and the way that the content's coming across to me? Like good execution in the beginning, but kind of like it's a little bit drawn out, kind of like me talking right now. So let's get to the next video. And, you know, hey, dude, what's his name? 29,000 subscribers. He's doing very good for himself. His name is NARC. Okay. All right. Not my cup of tea. We might watch some others from him. I'm not quite sure if we want to or not, just to see what else he's creating. But if you guys do want to put that in the Discord and the Look at This DG area, and hey, man, he's just trying to be an entertaining content creator. I just feel he's not informing his audience correctly. It's okay.